So somebody asked me in a conversation about my thoughts on collapse because, it's a disturbing bunch of thoughts that civilization will collapse. And there were good questions about, like, well, when and how. And my answer was, I don't know, which is a very good answer because a lot of people say, oh, it's going to be this way. And how do they know? They don't. And, we all have our favorite theories about what the biggest risks are that we face. And hi, honey. Hi, baby doggies. Yeah, you good baby. Oh, you're all wet. God damn it. Go away. Fuck off. The problem is there's like 100 different ways that collapse could start to occur. And so I did have an answer to that, and we'll get to that in a moment. And then when is another question. And that's always a big, dangerous thing to answer because things have gotten better in many ways in the world by many standards. Like there's less child mortality, and therefore people live longer statistically, although they are sicker. So we're poisoning ourselves and the planet, but we're living longer if you include, getting rid of like tiny child baby deaths and shit. So, but our bodies are more poisoned now. Like we have Teflon. I don't know if you know about this, but like if you look at a documentary about your documentary called "The Devil We Know," and you just look up other stuff about DuPont Company and Teflon, and it's all in your bodies and stuff. And I don't know if that kills us or not. But we know that certainly testosterone levels have gone down, sperm counts have gone down, birth rates have gone down, which is a good thing overall, the birth rate's going down, because we have too many people anyway, and so we risk collapse because we reach peak X on everything, and we just have overused everything, and our entire agricultural system is using energy that is unsustainable because it's all fossil fuel based. So, but back to the question. When and how. First, how could be anything. We're already watching the how. So we already know how we are slowly destroying the world. But there could also be a catastrophic event, such as a EMP, solar storm from the sun. The last one was in 1880 something, and it caused telegraphs to go haywire. That was called the Carrington event, and that was not the biggest one that's ever occurred, according to geology people who can tell things from looking at things I don't know about. But the last one we know of caused a lot of chaos with the very minimal electrical systems we had. And now, of course, if we had a similar event, it would cause massive catastrophe. I mean, we just had a recent bug. It was like last weekend. There was a tiny bug in one line of code in the security software that was included in some Microsoft software. And, that's going to cause supply chain problems. COVID was a very minor epidemic, really. Still is going on, and it's just going to get added into the many things that kill us. That's still pretty minor, but there could be an actual epidemic that kills off people. Like the plague has killed off, when a plague killed off a third of people or something in places. I mean, COVID was nothing. So there could easily be a plague that we're not prepared for, that we are not socially prepared for, even though COVID should have taught us how to live differently and perhaps socially distant distance on a regular basis and not live the way we do. But of course, we're going to keep living the way we do. That's just not what we do because we're stupid. And so, you know, volcanoes historically have killed off lots of people. There could be a small ice age. There could be a heat age. We don't even know. Those are a little bit longer term than the shorter term things. Of course, the shorter term things are civil unrest. And one of the guys in the conversation, was talking about nuclear war, and that was his primary concern, and that certainly is an option. Where some world leader in a small war could, who's armed, could set off some even tactical nuclear weapons, which psychologically would affect the world a lot, even though they're just bigger bombs. Or, worst case, the kind I was raised to think might occur, is that there could be a larger nuclear war, in which case massive problems would occur. And anybody who lives will have to be very well dug in and survive a lot of things, because you can't really have a small, big nuclear war. Sorry, I have to laugh at my own jokes sometimes. Anyway, it doesn't sound good, does it? It sounds pretty bad. And so he's worried about that. And of course, there's, people trying to do cyber attacks, and everything's pretty vulnerable. I guess that's the point, is everything is really vulnerable. And if you don't understand that, then it doesn't really matter. You're going to die anyway. So the problem is cascading failure. That one system fails, and all of our systems are so fragile that that causes other systems to fail, and some of them we know are going to fail. It's a no-brainer. They're going to fail slowly, but if one thing more intense happens, then it triggers a catastrophic failure that cascades along all the other systems. And since they were weak, they all fail too. So how and when? Short answer, no clue. We don't know. But the answer to it is prepare for it. And luckily, the preparations you would make for the various types of failure that could occur, if you wish to survive and don't just want to give up entirely, which is reasonable. I mean, just fuck everything, give it all up. But if you want to live, then it's really simple. Dig in. All your architecture should be built into slope. You should be capturing rainwater. You should use passive solar. Don't even assume that you have active photovoltaic solar with batteries, And move away from any part of anywhere in the world where it's too hot or too cold. You should not need any energy to heat or cool your building. And you should move to an area where you can grow a lot of stuff in a food forest kind of way without any work. Perennials, just growing food all around you and your community. And and as far as collapse goes, you're looking at short-term versus long-term collapse. Short-term, everything's be fucked up. So that's a very different type of conversation to have than after most people die. And that's the part I'm more interested in, okay? There's the big survivalist, let's get guns and fight it all out, kind of, steal other people's shit kind of game. And that will occur. But after that, then if there's anyone left, and this is my target demographic for who I care about, if there's anyone left, then how can we live better and build better long term? How can we plant better? And what culture can we develop for that time period in the post-apocalyptic world? So, yeah, that's what all my designs are about. Almost all of them. I have various designs, but good luck to you and your guesses. I guess one of my points would be that a lot of people over-focus on their single vision of how things are going to collapse. And it's kind of like, well, I really just don't think we know that. If you know that, then sure, feel free to tell us how you know that. But you probably don't know that.